Welcome to the CompTIA A+ Prepcast presented by baremetalcyber.com. Software installation is a fundamental part of information technology support, and understanding how software reaches a device is critical for technicians. There are many different ways to install applications, ranging from physical media to cloud-based distribution, and each method suits different environments, constraints, and support models. The A+ Core 2 exam requires you to recognize not just how to install software, but where it comes from, how it is deployed, and how to troubleshoot the process when things go wrong. Knowing these methods prepares you for both one-time installs and large-scale enterprise rollouts. One of the most traditional methods is installation from local media. This includes sources like USB flash drives, digital versatile disks, also known as D versus Ds, and mounted image files such as ISO files. These are commonly used for operating system installation, recovery utilities, or large standalone software packages. This method requires either direct physical access to the system or the ability to mount virtual media using imaging tools. Technicians often carry bootable USB drives with antivirus tools, recovery environments, or offline installers to support systems without internet access. Network-based installations allow software to be distributed from a central location across a local area network. This includes using shared folders, mapped network drives, or dedicated deployment servers. This method is especially useful in environments with many computers that require the same application. Network installs may be run manually by accessing a shared executable, or they may be automated using scripts or policy objects. To complete the installation, the system must have proper network access, and the user must have permission to read from the source directory. Cloud-based and web-based installation methods have become the norm for many modern applications. These methods involve downloading software directly from the vendor's website or using cloud-delivered platforms. Software as a Service, or SaaS, models rely on cloud-based installers and often include self-updating agents. These applications may run directly in a browser or install lightweight clients that synchronize with cloud storage or licensing. Examples include Office 365, Dropbox, or remote access tools. Updates are typically pushed from the internet and installed automatically. Portable applications are standalone executables that do not require installation. These apps run from the folder where they are stored and do not write changes to the system registry or file system. Technicians often carry portable apps on flash drives for diagnostics, password resets, or network testing. These are especially useful when working on lockdown systems where you cannot install traditional software. Portable apps are commonly used in fieldwork, classroom labs, or kiosk environments. They also leave no trace after use, which is beneficial in shared settings. Mobile apps are installed through platform-specific app stores. These include Google Play for Android, the Apple App Store for iOS, and the Microsoft Store for Windows-based tablets and laptops. These stores require account login and enforce strict platform policies, including compatibility, security, and user permissions. Some mobile platforms allow sideloading, which means manually installing an app outside the official store. Sideloading is common in development environments but may be restricted in managed or corporate devices for security reasons. Enterprise deployment methods are used to push applications across many devices in a consistent and controlled manner. Common tools include System Center Configuration Manager, known as SCCM, Microsoft Intune, and third-party solutions like PDQ Deploy. These tools allow administrators to install software silently, without user interaction, and to target specific machines or user groups. Installations can be scheduled, logged, and monitored for compliance. This approach ensures that all devices in an organization have the required software and reduces the support burden associated with manual installs. Software is packaged in different formats depending on the operating system and distribution method. In Windows, packages may be delivered as .exe installers, .msi packages, or Windows AppX bundles. Mac OS uses formats such as .app or .pkg, while Linux systems use .deb or .rpm formats. Some package types support unattended or silent installation through command line switches. Understanding these formats and their parameters helps technicians automate deployments, especially when building scripts or imaging templates. Silent or unattended installations are used to automate the process entirely. These installations run without showing dialog boxes or requiring user input. They are triggered using special command line switches like /quiet, /silent, or by referencing an answer file. These installs can be scheduled to run overnight or during login scripts. Logging can also be enabled to capture installation results. This method is standard practice in enterprise deployments and is frequently mentioned in A+ exam scenarios related to automation and system imaging. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Bootable installation environments are used when an operating system must be installed or repaired without launching a pre-existing OS. This involves booting from external media, such as a U-South-B drive loaded with a Windows or Linux image. These boot environments often use tools like Windows pre-installation environment known as WinPE or Linux Live environments. To boot from external media, you must configure the boot order in the BIOS or UEFI settings. Bootable installs are essential for deploying new systems, troubleshooting startup failures, or performing clean installations. Imaging and cloning methods offer an efficient way to install or replicate a standardized operating system configuration across multiple devices. Tools like Clonezilla, Norton Ghost, or Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, also called MDT, allow technicians to create a system image from a configured machine and then apply that image to identical or similar systems. This saves time compared to setting up each device individually and ensures consistency across the fleet. Imaging is widely used in classroom labs, corporate rollouts, and hardware refresh projects. Virtualization-based installation allows software to be deployed within virtual machines instead of directly on the host system. This is done using hypervisors such as Hyper-V, VirtualBox, or VMware. Technicians may test software installations in a virtual machine to avoid making changes to the host system or to isolate software that may have compatibility issues. Before installation, a snapshot is often taken so that the system can be reverted if something goes wrong. Virtual installs are used in testing, development, and secure application isolation environments. Subscription-based applications, often delivered as software as a service or SaaS, are now common in both consumer and enterprise environments. These apps are downloaded through the internet and activated using a subscription account. The license may be tied to a specific device or to a user account and often requires online validation. Examples include Microsoft 365, Adobe Creative Cloud, and cloud-based antivirus platforms. These tools update automatically and are managed through central portals. Loss of connectivity may prevent access to features or delay validation, making this a consideration in some deployment environments. Licensing and activation are required steps in most software installations. The license may be entered during installation or after the program launches. Some software checks the license against an online server, while others use local files or hardware identifiers. If the activation fails, the software may limit features or stop functioning altogether. Activation issues often arise from using the wrong product key, network restrictions, or license count limits in volume agreements. Understanding how the licensing model works is essential when helping users unlock or validate software. Installation errors are common and typically have specific messages. Errors may say, "Installer failed," "Insufficient privileges," or "Cannot write to folder." These can be caused by missing permissions, corrupted install files, or insufficient disk space. To resolve them, the technician may run the installer as administrator, verify that the disk has enough free space, or check that the package is not damaged. Many installers generate log files, which are saved in locations like %temp%. These logs include error codes and steps that help identify the exact cause of failure. In an enterprise setting, it is common to deploy software through a managed process. For example, an administrator may push a .msi package to 50 systems using group policy. The installation is silent, requiring no user input, and runs in the background overnight. By morning, all devices have the new software. The administrator can confirm success using log entries in Event Viewer or from deployment reports. This is an efficient and repeatable method that ensures all systems remain consistent and compliant with company standards. Just as important as installation is the ability to roll back or uninstall applications. Most software can be removed using Control Panel or the Settings app under Apps and Features. Some installers include a rollback option that reverses recent changes if a problem occurs. Others may require a full reboot before changes take effect. When uninstalling, it's important to ensure that residual files and registry entries do not interfere with future installations. Specialized uninstallers or cleanup tools can assist in fully removing problematic software. Verification of a successful installation includes several steps. First, confirm that the application files exist in the correct directory. Second, ensure that shortcuts are created and function as expected. Third, check that registry entries and licensing files are in place. Launching the application verifies that it starts correctly and responds to user input. If the application crashes or behaves inconsistently, technicians should review Event Viewer or crash logs for clues. This step confirms that the install process worked and that the application is stable. To summarize, software can be installed through local media, networks, cloud delivery, or virtual environments. Each method has its own steps, requirements, and troubleshooting procedures. Technicians must know how to choose the right method for a given environment, whether setting up one device or deploying software across an entire organization. Mastering installation sources, silent deployment options, licensing requirements, and verification steps is essential for the Core 2 exam and for performing efficient and professional IT support in any real-world setting. Thank you for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information, podcasts, books, and more.